All right, Oprah Winfrey is revealing her new and highly anticipated book club selection, only on CBS This Morning.
Good morning, CTM family. And everybody, hello. I'm safer at home, and I hope you all are too, but really pleased to be able to tell you about my next book club selection. No better time to get a good book, and this is a really good one. It is a true story, and it's called Hidden Valley Road, Inside the Mind of an American Family by Robert Kolker. Hidden Valley Road. And what an incredible story it is. True story about this family of 12. And it's discovered one by one that 6 members of this family, of the boys, all have schizophrenia. And it's like a detective story that reveals the shame, the denial, the shock, the confusion, the misunderstanding of dealing with mental illness at a time when nobody was really sure what schizophrenia was or how to treat it. Robert Kolker does an incredible job of exploring the minds of this family.
Robert Kolker is a New York Times best-selling author. He joins us from his home in Brooklyn, New York. Good morning. Congratulations. First of all, what was it like to hear Oprah giving the big pitch for your book?
Well, it's the 3rd time I've watched the video, and I'm still hyperventilating. I can't get enough of it. I'm just amazed and overwhelmed and thrilled. And more to the point, I'm just thrilled for this family who opened up to tell their story after decades of silence. And hopefully this selection by Oprah really is helpful to them in this way, too.
This is a family, the Galvin family, that had 6 sons diagnosed with schizophrenia, a family of 12 kids, in an age when people didn't want to talk about mental illness at all and certainly didn't understand it. Why did they want to tell this story to you?
Well, there were really 2 big questions when I first heard about this family. One was, how on earth could this happen to one family? And that was the science question that I think the family still wants answers to, and the book is helpful that way, I hope. And then the second question is, how on earth could this family actually remain a family, given all of the tragedy they experienced? And I think they wanted that investigated also. I mean, they wanted their tale to be instructive to people and helpful to people. I found that by telling this story as a nonfiction narrative, as a family saga, you really get the sense of these people as people first, and their ordeals are really relatable. What they went through is really quite extreme and quite tragic, but I think there's hope in there and helpfulness in the story that it can tell people.
Yeah, and you really come to know all of them in this book. Gail, you've got a question, too.
I do. Bob Coulter, hi. You might get a kick out of this.
Hi,
I was
Gail.
talking to Oprah last night about the book selection, and she said that a member of her team gave her the book because she and Prince Harry are working on a series about mental health. And so she was reading it in preparation for her mental health work. But she said, I was so fascinated because it was written like a novel. She very, very seldom chooses nonfiction books. So to her surprise, because it is so well done and it does read like a novel, you can't believe what you're reading. That's why she chose it. And I'm one of the thing that resonated with me about the book is that the woman thought that the mom, Mimi, thought she was doing everything perfectly if she was making, for instance, a different kind of pie every night. She thought that she was keeping the family together with the simplicity of that when everything is just really going to hell in a handbasket.
There was a lot of shame and a lot of stigma about mental illness back in the 50s and 60s when the Galvin boys were first getting sick. And there's still a stigma now, of course, too, but it really was extreme back then, and it all pointed toward the parents back then. The major psychiatrists in our society all were blaming mom and dad for schizophrenia. And so families like the Galvins knew that if they went public with what was going on, that they would be judged and the family would be destroyed. So she had a lot riding on that.
Yeah, you can only imagine. Bob, Tony DeCopel here. Before we let you go, I wanted to sneak in a quick question about the impact that this family and they're telling their story has on the wider scientific understanding of schizophrenia and how we treat it.
they really have pushed the ball forward in ways that even surprised them. They were one of the first families to be studied by the National Institute of Mental Health back in the 80s, when technology was just starting to give us a little glimpse into the genome. And they are still the biggest family in the collection of families with genes like this. And toward the end of Hidden Valley Road, you can learn all about the different genetic mutations that this family pointed the way toward that might help us understand this disease better and actually might help future generations.
It really is an epic story. Robert Kolker, thank you so much. Hidden Valley Road is on sale now.